Katakuri, the best support, but annoying to get. That's why in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a free Worldlines macro. Sorry, Pysef, because Worldlines does get pretty tedious doing 50 stages over and over again. Alright guys, so you're just going to go down into the link in the description and join Salmon's projects. You guys have probably already been in here a little bit if you saw my auto challenge macro. But anyways, the Worldlines macro just got released for free. So if we go over to the announcements, we can see releasing free access for daily and Worldline. So what I want to do is come over here to Worldline right here and then click that. And then we have the Worldline macros. If you go to the pin ones, you can see the newest one, which we're now on version 1.03. If you also scroll up, you can see it's version 1.03. That's the thing right there. We're just going to click on this. It says potentially dangerous download. Of course, though, it only says that because it accesses your mouse and keyboard to actually do the macro. Just continue to download. And I'm going to save mine on my desktop for the sake of this video, but obviously, you guys do not have to save it on your desktop. And one other thing, if you come over here to your downloads, it will say suspicious download locked, most likely. Just click on that and press the download suspicious file. And then if I come over to my desktop, we should have the download right here, Worldline. Now again, you do need WinRAR and auto hotkey for this macro, but I said that literally every single video. Just right click on this, go down to WinRAR, and then go to extract here. Then you should have a file right here. If you're not on your desktop, it's just wherever you saved it to. If you open that up, it's going to be a worldline.exe, and you just open that up. But before we get into the actual macro part, I'm going to load up Anime Vanguards real quick, and we're going to some settings down. Alright guys, so in Roblox, first going to go over to the top left of the settings, and then go over to the settings. We're going to turn on graphics quality all the way down to the lowest. Camera and keyboard should all be on default, and shift locked should be off as well. And that's your Roblox settings. Then, for the AV settings down here in the bottom left, make sure everything is enabled. You should see everything on green, and the UI scale should be set at 1. Should go up 1 or down 1, and then back to 1 to make sure you're checked up in there. And then, in your settings, for display settings, you're going to make sure you have on 1920 by 1080 and 100% recommendation. Alright guys, once you have all that down, you should be ready to start doing your settings for the actual macro, and I'm talking about for your teams. Now what I mean, for this macro, the macro essentially goes over to the Worldlines, checks the weather, and then equips a team best suited for the weather. And now there are 12 weathers for Worldlines. So coming up to your units, you should have folders, and have the first one, we're going to have 10 folders for every single weather in order of Inf to Blizzard, Snow, Rift in Time, Thunderstorm, Rain, Made of Heaven, Love Train, Full Moon, and Sunshine. Again, these, tutorials are also in the Discord server if you want that to explain it to you a little bit better. So essentially what this is over here for my folders is just every single folder in here has units that's best suited for the weather. And if you don't know what units to bring, sorry guys, excuse me. And if you don't know what units to bring, you can come over here to the placement settings and then go to each one. As you can see, Infinite Tsukuyomi buffs right here. And then Blizzard, you have buffs here. Rain buffs here, whatnot, and it has all of them. Now also, I know there are 12 weathers, so the other two, I'll get to that in a little bit. But again, for your folders, essentially what you're going to do is have 6 units best suited for each weather in here. So for Tsukuyomi, I have, for example, Monarch Choso, Speedwagon, obviously, Sungju Vanguard, Dante Jackpot, Lucy, and Takadora. Now, another thing to consider is every single team you make, besides Tsukuyomi, should have an Uryu. As you can see here, instead of just bringing Taka, Speedwagon, and my other stuff, you also have to have an Uryu for every single one. As you can see, I have it on Snow, I have it on Rift in Time, and I have it on Thunderstorm. So again, just go in there, make your teams. The other thing is they should all be in order. For example, Speedwagon should be in last, and Takadora should be in second, and if I have Sunjin and Moon and every single one, it should be in the first. So if you want to fix that, you can come over here to your folders, load in Tsukuyomi, and then go over to your teams, go to Worldlines, unequip all, equip that, and then go over to your folders in Tsukuyomi, and now it'll be back to this. So make sure you just have all of these for every single folder. And then the last 2 folders, if you already saw over here with my teams, Worldlines, sorry about that. So the last two weathers are going to be in here, Windstorm Worldlines and Flood Worldlines. This should also be in order as well. Windstorm first, Flood second, and then lastly you should have a empty slot up here that the macro can unequip all for every single time it needs to, reset the team, and then go into the folders and start equipping the units like that, and keeps on doing it over and over again. So I know I'm a little bit bad at explaining things. It's a lot to go over. There are some better settings, or tutorials in the Discord server you guys want to look at. But a brief overview one more time. There's 12 weathers. First 10 weathers have a folder for each weather, and it should have Uryu and then 2 farms in every single one besides in Tsukuyomi, which does not need Uryu. Your last 2 teams are in the actual team folder, which is Windstorm and Flood, and then just make sure you have your top slot empty so that you can unequip all and then equip a new team whenever it needs to. Again, I know that was a lot. And then the last step, I know, it's a very tedious process, is we have to go back into our macros and now equip all of our teams. So essentially what we have to do now is, for example, Infinite Tsukuyomi. If I come over here to Anime Vanguards, and first off, fix my little window here, and then go over to my folders, and then go over to Infinite Tsukuyomi, as you can see, I have the units I'm going to need to use. So, first unit, we're going to max that out, have placement 3. We're going to do auto skill, and we're going to do shadow summon for Vanguard Sunjuwu. And the next one is Dante Jackpot. We're going to have him maxed out as well. Placement 3, no auto skill. And the other one, Lucy, placement 3. We're not going to max her out though, because she's just a little helper. And then Choso, also placement 1, because he's a monarch. And then just have that just like this. And essentially we're doing that for literally every single placement. So I'm going to go over and do that real quick, and I'll just speed it up so you guys have to watch me do over this the whole time. Alright guys, so there I just got all my placements down. Again, I put Vanguard Sunjuwu on upgrade 4 and manual skill Shadow Summon just because the other people are getting buffed, so we make sure we're prioritizing, for example, Virgil. And then Uryu is also on weakest to counter the statues. And now that you have that, you should be good to go with all those settings if you copied everything down how I told you to. And you just want to make sure you're in a position that you would normally be starting the game. And then you should be able to start the macro, make sure you have chat enabled, turn on the leaderboard, and then just press F2 to run the macro. Now I'll go over here, exit out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when I mean it goes over, to the Worldlines, checks the weather, and then equips the team, and then it plays it. But if everything goes to plan, that should be the macro, and you guys should be able to, set up for yourself, and happy grinding. Again, as you can see, it said snow, so it's going to go to Worldlines, equip everything, or unequip everything, and then go down to snow, and start equipping every single one as we go to the folder. Again, keep on doing that. That's why you have to have these folders down. But again, it looks like it's working fine. So I'm going to let you guys watch the macro. And yeah, let's see if this thing works. Alright guys, so as you can see, the macro seems to worked out pretty well. Again, I don't really know why it didn't place down the other units. Again, probably just a little setup error on my end. If that happens for you, again, just check over your placements. But as you can see, it's looking pretty good. And then after this, it will go back to the lobby and then unequip the team, then do the same thing you saw at the beginning with, you know, the folder method and making sure you have the right team on for the correct weather. So, you know, you obviously can win in Worldlines. But yeah, after this last enemy gets killed any second now, there it is. So the macro completes, and then we'll just return to lobby and then do it all over again. I'm just going to turn it off though. And yeah, that's basically it for the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, again, make sure to like and subscribe. Obviously, join my Roblox group, do all that stuff. And if you did not understand how to set up the folders and teams, you can also go into the Discord server. They have some of their own tutorials there you can look over, and some written tutorials as well if you want to do that. But that'll be all for me, guys. I'll see you next one. Peace out.